Hello, and how are you doing today? Now, Donald Trump and his supporters, they are supposedly anti DEI and they claim that they want a merit based society. So, I am going to talk about the Library of Congress real quick and the woman that they let go. Her name is Carla Hayden. She has a PhD, she had a long career. In the library science field, and she was the head librarian at the Library of Congress since the Obama administration. She was appointed by Obama, and from what I've read of her, she accomplished a lot in her role there. During her time in that role, she supposedly modernized the collection and just kind of brought everything more into the 21st century. Well, she was fired by Trump and replaced by a man named Todd Blanche. He is a lawyer. He was Trump's criminal defense lawyer. He also represented Giuliani, and he worked for an established law firm on Wall Street. So I'm guessing if you work for a Wall Street law firm, you probably defend a lot of white collar criminals who I would imagine steal the most. I mean, there's a lot of attention paid to, people stealing stuff out of Walgreens and stuff like that, which I'm not excusing. That is wrong. But there were all these videos circulating on the internet about that for a while, and people acted like the sky was falling. And oddly enough, you don't see those videos anymore. Did shoplifting just stop all of a sudden? It's very funny. When I used to be on Twitter, like every day there was, something new about shoplifting, and it would be on the local news outlets all over the country as well, and all of a sudden it just stopped. But anyway, you know, white collar criminals just obviously would steal the absolute highest amounts of money. And this person, Todd Blanche, I reckon that he has defended a lot of those types. Anyway, he has no experience as a librarian, and he's also currently the Deputy Attorney General. Now, both of those seem like they take a lot of commitment. Maybe Todd Blanche is working really hard. That is sarcasm. But anyway, I'm just pointing out more hypocrisy and gaslighting and lying when people talk about how they want a merit-based society. Trump is upset right now because he wanted to stop Harvard from admitting international students, and they are a big part of the student body at Harvard. A judge overturned it, so that's not going to go on for now. But when I first heard that, I was like, okay, so Trump doesn't want international students, so he automatically would be creating a lot more space for Americans. So, I mean, is that merit based? Really? I mean, he's totally changing or trying to change like the competitive field, because I'm sure a lot of people in other countries probably have a lot better study habits than a lot of Americans have. So I'm like, okay, who's really pushing DEI here? Trump. I would say Trump. So, yeah, there is that. I also wanted to say that I think that the real purpose of these tariffs that Trump has implemented, I really think he's just trying to undermine organized labor and labor unions, because last year the people who work on the docks, they went on strike. They had some success. Their dispute was agreed upon pretty quickly, and the strike, if they did strike at all, it was very short. It was like a day. And so, yeah, the labor union defeated the businesses, and they wanted to automate the work and the workers were also asking for a pay raise as well. So they got what they wanted. So I really think these tariffs are just kind of like the empire striking back, because I saw a story from the news in Seattle talking about how the ports were empty, and the port workers were just kind of like, I've never seen anything like this. And people who drive semis are also not going to have much business right now because of these tariffs. So yeah, there's that. I think that undermining organized labor is why Republicans want to privatize education, and I also think that it's why they're firing a lot of the federal workers. So they want to they would like to destroy labor unions, organized labor. They want to change labor laws. They want to deregulate everything. They even want to get rid of some of the child labor laws. And then they want to say, bring the jobs back to America. Well, that would eliminate shipping, wouldn't it? So yeah, Trump is not good news at all. So yeah, there's that. And I also want to complain about the state of Missouri for a little while. The state of Missouri, they try and overturn everything that the voters vote on that they don't like. Let's see, they want to overturn a new law that, well, I guess it's not new laws, but last November, voters in Missouri voted to legalize abortion. So they voted in favor of, pro-choice, however you want to look at it. But it was voted on, and they're trying to overturn it. Let's see. Voters approved a law to give workers in Missouri paid leave. The government in Missouri is trying to overturn that. I remember some years back, in St. Louis, in the St. Louis area, voters approved a hike in the minimum wage, and the state of Missouri overturned that. In Jackson County, Missouri, voters voted against taxes on a new stadium in Jackson County, and the state of Missouri decided, okay, well, we will fund the sports teams. I don't think they're going to put it in Jackson County, though, unless maybe they just use the money to improve the current stadium. But they're pretty much, again, just working around what the voters decided. So I'm like, my gosh, Missouri is already its own little dictatorship because they do not want to actually abide by what voters decide on. But it's kind of the voters' fault, because voters in Missouri tend to vote in favor of kind of like liberal causes, but then they put in these dictator-like politicians. So anyway, I just kind of wanted to talk about that a little bit, just talk about the gaslighting nonsense, which is anti-DEI measures, and the way the state of Missouri continues to work around and undermine and disregard the voters in this state. So that's all I have to say for now, and I will be back again with more content. Thank you. Bye.